Hi everybody, welcome to our zoology class. So now we are going to study the external or morphological features of one of the chordate, that is frog. The scientific name is Rana tigrina. So let's see what are the features of our Rana tigrina. Yeah. So dear everybody, we have Rana tigrina. So need not to fear. So this comes under chordata. In the sense, the prominent vertebral column and backbone we could observe. Now one more special characteristic feature of this Rana tigrina is it's an amphibian. It can live inside the water and also on land. So here we could observe the body size and shape and structure, everything. So this comes under tetrapoda. Tetra in the sense 4. Poda means feet. So these two limbs are called hind limbs. So hind limbs, and these are called forelimbs. Okay, forelimbs, hind limbs. So the body is divided into head and trunk. So here neck is absent, dear students. Neck is absent. This is a triploblast, closed type of circulatory system. Heart has 4 chambers, but ventricle is not completely divided. It is trying to escape, don't worry. So body is divided or provided by dorsal surface, ventral surface. This is a ventral surface. Okay. Light brown or yellowish color. This one is a dorsal surface. Rough. The skin is much thicker. So here we have clearly observed that. So this is a pharynx. So the respiration in the frog. One of the mode is buccopharyngeal process. So now the frog is respiring through that buccopharyngeal cavity. So clearly we could observe. Okay, so this is a buccopharyngeal process. So mouth is provided by upper and lower jaw. We will try to open, but we should not force it. So upper and lower jaw, mouth is provided by. And one pair of prominent eyes we have. Eyelids also we could observe. Upper eyelid, it is little thicker than the lower eyelid, and one of the special membrane called nictitating membrane also we could observe. These are unisexuals. Male frogs generally small in size than a female one, because these are oviparous, egg laying mammals. I think so this is a female frog. So here locomotion we could observe, jumping. Locomotion is jumping, yes, with the help of 4 or 2 pairs of limbs. So here each limb is provided by toes, we could observe. So in between the toes, dear students, that small membrane, that skin membrane we could observe. So because this is called webbed feet. Okay. So web-like structure, I think so. Padded feet, I mean pad-like structure. Okay, padded feet, patagium, we could observe. And the surface of the skin has numerous thick foldings. So this is called dermal plicae. So here, wait. So these are called dermal plicae. Dermal plicae. So these hind limbs and forelimbs are helpful for in a swimming process also. They can jump and they can show the leaping movement, and also they can swim easily. So due to absence of neck, these organisms can swim in water easily. That is also one of the favorable change according to evolutionary aspect. So on a dorsal median line we could observe, but here in this frog clearly it is not appearing. So one dorsal median line also we could observe slightly, and back side we could observe cloaca. So this is a cloaca. Cloaca in the sense that what it is called, that excretory system, it is opens into what it is called reproductive system and also digestive system. So different systems combination opens through one type of special pore that is called cloaca. Cloaca is guarded by cloacal aperture. So generally these frogs are insectivores most probably. They have special larval stage in water is called tadpole. So this frog or Rana tigrina can perform respiration through skin, that is called cutaneous respiration, and one more respiration through buccopharyngeal cavity, and one more gills. In larval stage, Rana perform respiration through gills. Fertilization is external. That milk and spawn is released into water. Then the fertilization takes place. They may lay lakhs eggs and sperms. What is the reason in the sense? Most of the sex cells, sperms or ovum will be fed by remaining aquatic organisms in the water or aquatic habitat. Due to that reason, finally, just hundreds of zygotes are formed. Then after the life cycle, the tadpole is converts into adult frog, that is called metamorphosis. So for the conversion of tadpole larva into adult frog in water, there must be the presence of iodine. So without iodine there is no metamorphosis. That larva is unable to change into adult frog. Remember that one. So iodine is a must. And periodically the adult frogs every month once they will shed off the skin and their cells. That is called molting. What is molting? Shedding of the skin or that layer or dermis is called molting. So male and female frogs during that mating or sexual reproduction, generally in a male frog special pads will be. Updating pad, that is called. So here we are unable to observe the pad properly. So the process of male and female frogs mate together is called amplexus. That mating process is called amplexus. So we told already this is a unisexual, what it is called, bilateral symmetry. So we can divide this organism body into two equal halves or metameres only through one plane. Yes. Okay. So this dorsomedian plane can divide this organism body into two equal segments, half. So those segments are called metameres. Metameres or metamers. And these Rana tigrina and different types of species, they will perform deep summer sleep and also deep winter sleep. So summer sleep is known as aestivation, winter sleep is known as hibernation. So during that aestivation and hibernation, mostly they will perform buccopharyngeal respiration. Buccopharyngeal respiration. And one of the main sign or characteristic feature of the Rana tigrina is croaking. So these organisms, they make sound like beka commonly, and most of the frogs, they will make sound differently. So why they are making the sound in the sense to attract female organisms for mating or that amplexus process. So dear everybody, these are the few morphological features of Rana tigrina. Yes, nostrils exactly above the upper jaw. That sharp pointed conical shape structure is called snout. Snout exactly on the snout the nostrils. Are you able to observe? The nostrils are functioning. Breathing, gases exchange, inhalation, exhalation. So with the help of nostrils, the gases uptake or else intake or elimination takes place. Inspiration and expiration. Snout and nostrils are present. So here we could observe the heartbeat also. Here, this region you could observe it. Everybody. The heartbeat also we could observe. And this is a cold-blooded organism. Cold-blooded in the sense it is having the capability to change or adjust its body temperature according to the aquatic habitat. So according to that way, this is a cold-blooded organism. But coming to mammals, humans especially, warm-blooded. So this is cold-blooded. Fish also comes under cold-blooded. Most of the reptiles also comes under cold-blooded, but we are warm-blooded. So once again we could observe the locomotion. Yes, jumping. We don't have no water, or else we could observe swimming process also. So clearly observe the buccopharyngeal respiration. Buccopharyngeal respiration. It is performing buccopharyngeal. Then let's see the feeding mode. That insect.